Today, I've got information on the October 14th event that DJI is putting on, and also leaked images and some more information regarding the two gimbals I'm expecting in October. Let's get right to it. All right, so first off, the gimbal release, which of course will be the Ronin S2 or RS2, and its little brother, the Ronin SC2 or RSC2. That and the October 14th event with the teaser image, it's not the same thing. So those are actually two separate areas that DJI is releasing new products. I'm not even sure if we're gonna see the new gimbals on October 14th. Of course, it could happen, but it's kind of two separate things, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's not at the same time. Anyhow, I'm gonna talk about the new gimbals, the Ronins first, and then the event at the end. So make sure you stay tuned for that, even though I have a feeling you might be a little disappointed, but that's okay. Let's talk about it anyways, and then we'll see what's going on. All right, so the Ronin gimbals. So let's talk about the names. Just like with the Osmo Mobile 4, which just recently launched, they're actually calling it the OM4. Now, I think this new naming convention is going to carry over to these two new gimbals, and I don't know if this is for everything that's coming out from the DJI Osmo Corporation or company, a registered trademark or whatever, but I expect this name to change on the Ronins as well. I think the Ronin S2 is going to be called the RS2, and the smaller brother, the Ronin SC2, is going to be called the RSC2. Now, I don't know what you're going to call it, but the RSC2 is kind of long, so Ronin SC2 I think kind of just flows better, but anyway, that's what I think regarding the name. Now, the bigger brother to the Ronin series has always been the Ronin 2. Now, if you don't recall the Ronin 2, that might be because of its price tag. This thing comes in at over $8,000. Many filmmakers are wanting to stabilize small cine cameras and not just DSLRs and, mirrorless cameras. So I have a feeling that this new Ronin S2 or RS2 is going to be geared to a little bit more of the kind of smaller cine cameras. Of course, the red Komodo, which came out recently, I think is going to be a perfect candidate to this. I have a feeling we're going to get a couple of design cues from the big brother, and one of the things you can see here on the leaked image is very obvious. It's the carbon fiber arms. So for the first time on a smaller Ronin, we're going to see carbon fiber used on the arms here, and also look at that red paint. That is just totally classic Ronin 2 style. I do have a feeling that the Ronin S2 or RS2 is going to suit a very wide range of filmmakers, unless you're trying to lift very heavy cine cameras or corresponding heavy cine lenses. Details are slim on these new gimbals, however, Best Buy blew it. Best Buy published a product page for the Ronin S2, and even though they deleted it shortly after, we have leaked images and some details. And kids, don't forget, once you publish something on the internet, it's there forever. And if you delete it, trust me, it's still there. All right, so when you look at the DJI RS2, you can tell there's a couple of new things here. This focus zoom ring on the front now goes across, and it'll be a lot more comfortable for your index finger, if you're right or left-handed, to adjust the focus or zoom modes of the DJI focus motor. Here we can see the new screen. It's quite large, and at this size, I bet you it might even have touchscreen capability to swipe through the menus. We also have new USB ports right here on the arm integrated, and that's pretty cool. There's 3 ports, USB-C, so you can have a lot less wires just to get the focus motor to work. There's still gonna be some wires and mumbo jumbo there, and one of the reasons is this. This is the new DJI Raven Eye wireless image transmitter. Now that's a mouthful. The Raven Eye essentially allows you to stream whatever the camera is recording or seeing to a smartphone or tablet. I have a feeling this is going to work with the iOS and Android apps. Now, what I think would be cool, and I hope this also happens, is that you can control the Ronin S2 directly from the app. There's an extension cable, so if you do the car mount route to mount the camera and gimbal, you can have the extension cable to run to the inside if you want to have the grip on inside the car, etc. So there's many different variations coming, but this Raven Eye thing is definitely new. Competitors have some kind of a version of this, but now DJI has their own. What would be cool, and what I hope to see, is that there's also a receiver of this that'll just spit out HDMI, so you can go on and use it for other things. But I kind of have a feeling that it's gonna end in just the kind of smartphone app, and that's where you see the image. That's one of the things I'm interested to find out. Of course, we're going to expect to see upgraded motors, increased payload weight, and all this kind of stuff. I'm not sure of all the details, of course. We've only gotten certain amounts of leaks, but we also know there's a smaller gimbal coming. The RSC2 or Ronin SC2. A little bit less features, a little bit more affordable. So if you're not having to carry around Cine cameras, this might be perfect for you. So maybe you're shooting on a mirrorless camera, huh? Or a kind of DSLR that's not super heavy and the payload of the smaller gimbal would be sufficient for you, then this is something that's pretty exciting. Why is it exciting? We'll get to pricing in a second here. That's exciting to me. But look at it here. The RSC2 also leaked. Now, no, we do not get carbon fiber arms on this. No fancy red paint stripes here, which is fine. You know, for the less price, you're gonna get less features. It's usually how it works. But I am excited about this because there's also a display here. Now note that this is smaller than on the RS2, so I'm guessing that we're just gonna control this with that joystick right there. I don't think we're gonna see a touchscreen. I could be wrong, but it is just one of the differences between the RS2 and the RSC2. The RSC2 runs on a 2-cell LiPo battery, so that's why the nominal voltage is 7.4 volt, and the RS2 runs on a 3-cell battery, and that's why in the FCC paperwork that DJI filed, the nominal voltage is 15.4 volts. So that just goes to show you bigger motors on the RS2 compared to the RSC2. Man, it's quite annoying to have to pay attention to all those letters. If you are looking for more performance or heavier payload, then of course you're going to look at the RS2. And if you're okay with a little bit less payload and paying less, then the RSC2 is the one you want to look at. Now stay tuned as more details of this are coming out, but let's talk about the price. The RS2 standard is going to come in at $899 US. Just gonna wait for a second. Yep, $899. And the Pro model with all the accessories and this new Raven Eye should come in at $999. A little bit more than the previous Ronin S, but here's the prices. Now the RSC2 is a lot more attractive in that regard. It's supposed to come in at $429 just for the standalone gimbal. And the Pro version with the wireless Raven Eye, I think if the Pro version includes that, that'd be pretty sweet. Of course, this is just rumors and based on that one leak, should come in at $599. So $599 for the SC2 with the focus motor, tripod, and the wireless image transmitter that is called DJI Raven Eye Wireless Image Transmission System. I think is a pretty good deal, but of course you have to weigh out your pros and cons. Do you need a new gimbal? Does your old one work? Then you probably don't have to upgrade. But I have a feeling there's going to be a couple of features, maybe Active Track 4.0, that will make this better, and gadget fans, you and I, it's going to be tempting. Now, what I do hope to see with Active Track and, of course, also with the app, with the Ronin S and Ronin SC, what I kind of wished it had is if you already have the focus motor, you can have the gimbal move after certain seconds to a different spot, but you couldn't get the focus motor to work with it. So I thought it would be totally cool to be able to move the camera based on your waypoints and have the focus motor move to a different setting smoothly by the time it gets to each waypoint. Why would this be cool? Not just for focus, but let's say you have a Sony and the autofocus is quite good. Imagine if you can just hook up the focus motor on zoom. Now you've got a totally kind of new dynamic shot where based on wherever the camera is focused or moving, you can have the focal length change on your lens. I don't know, to me that sounded interesting, and I kind of hope we see these kinds of features. Anyhow, there you have it, the Ronin S2 and RSC2. Now the DJI event, and if you were hoping for a Mavic 3 or update to the Mavic Mini with the Mavic Mini 2, which recently got rumored, or perhaps you're interested in the DJI FPV drone, which will come ready to fly out of the box from DJI, then unfortunately you're going to be disappointed. First of all, this event teaser was brought out on Twitter by the DJI Enterprise account. Now, if that is any indication, then this is not going to be a consumer product. Now, this could be an update to the RTK, or real-time kinematic system, that DJI has on the market for mapping and surveying. And if you're not sure what that is, it's kind of similar to GPS. It's used to triangulate and get a very accurate position on the ground or in the air if you're flying on a drone. Basically, with a base station, you can get a relative accuracy on RTK of down to a millimeter. And a millimeter is like that. I mean, it's super tiny. And now that's with a base station using regular RTK systems, which are used in land surveying, etc. So the nominal accuracy of a system like that is down to a centimeter based on my research. And that's kind of nuts, because the GPS chip in your smartphone is accurate down to 4.9 meters or 16 feet. Now that's quite a difference. So you can see that the reason they can command steeper prices for these kinds of drones is because A, it's used in a professional environment where accuracy down to ridiculous tiny sizes is necessary. So there you go. As it may, the teaser reads, instant clarity, superior accuracy. Now, to me, that clearly shows that this is some kind of a surveying or mapping product. Now, if that's not enough proof, then check this out. This is the Intergeodigital 2020 event site, and this is the conference where DJI is presenting and revealing this product. And even on their own page, you can see that DJI is releasing this new solution optimized for geospatial data. If you're interested in the Mavic 3 or Mavic Mini 2, or maybe the DJI FPV drone that we're expecting to come out, then you should definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell next to it, and hit all to receive all notifications. That way you can get my community posts showing up in your feed, and I occasionally post interesting leaks that I get throughout the week there. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then please do that. Hey, if you enjoyed that, or you learned something new, or you just want to be nice, then do give this video a like. It really does help out, and I personally appreciate you doing that. So thank you. Hey, in the meantime, check out some of these other videos. Here's one, or here's one. Why not check out both? Okay, Jungs, auf Wiedersehen. Till next time. Ciao.